Kapla, Kavan, Buster Pangorje, Klingon Ma. Hi there, my name is Buster Destroyer. If you don't know me, I stream Star Citizen and a couple other games here and there here on YouTube and Twitch. I have been making a series of videos of lately, or a series of videos lately about the character creator. I've made one about how to like use a save file in the character creator. I made one last week about like kind of like 5 tips to make yourself better at using the character creator. And then today's video is going to be like wants, wishes, and hopes for the character creator. So before I get into all that, I just want to do a quick plug. Down below, there should be a link in there somewhere, like whether it's my link tree or it's a direct link. But it will, if it's my link tree, you'll get to the form from there. If it's the direct link, then whatever. But I make free character head files for people that play Star Citizen. So if you would like one, please use the request form. I'll be happy to make you a character when I make them next. I typically do it on Mondays or Tuesdays. So please fill that out. Let me make you a character if you'd like me to. I'd love to. I've made 175 plus members, like their actual faces of the Star Citizen community. Pretty well practiced, and I'm pretty fast too. And I'm great at it. Like, I'm not gonna, like, I'm a humble person, but I'm not gonna sell myself short. I'm fantastic at it. You should absolutely take advantage of that while I still do it. Who knows? Maybe one day I won't anymore. There's no threat to it right now. I'm just saying. So with all that said, before we get into the rest of this, I also want to make a statement before I make my statements about what I want in the character creator. I am an advanced user of the character creator. Again, like I said a second ago, I've made over 175 people in this community. I have like at least, I would say at least a couple hundred hours in this character creator. I use this way more than any of you do. So you could probably take some of what I say with like that grain of salt of like, maybe that's a little too much detail for the average user, which I totally get. So I understand that. But yeah, just keep that in mind when I say the things I say, because somebody who gets in it and uses it for 15 minutes before they go and play the game. So I respect that not everybody is going to use it as much as I do. So with that said, let's jump right into it. I broke this down into 3 categories. Improving what's there, new additions, and what we know is already on the way, but I still want to talk about it. So let's start with what we know is already on the way. More tattoos. The tattoos in the game are fantastic right now. I love them. I think they're so wonderful. I can't wait to see more, is all. I just can't wait. I can't wait to see more tattoos. Rings and other types of rings in piercings. So piercings currently have like pites, ball studs, spike studs, and probably something else I'm not thinking of. But it's just mostly stud types, and it looks like I think pite's a gauge. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I think a pite is like a gauge, right? Like when you put gauge stuff in. I don't know all that, but I can't wait for there to be like stuff like rings and like dangly earrings and things like that. Like the greater variety in the piercings is very much something I'm looking forward to. And the next one I'll say way more hair. We need more hair. We always need more hair. I mean, I don't think anybody in this community should be satisfied with the amount of hair until there's like at least over 60 hairstyles. Kind of like Baldur's Gate. Like Baldur's Gate's got a ton. And even those, I'm like, can I have like some other ones? So yeah, more hair. And then now we're going to transition over into improving what's already there. And first I'll start with more eyebrow types. So some of this might be stuff that they already plan on bringing in more of, but I kind of want to get more specific about these. More eyebrow types, especially like, that includes shapes and hair density within the eyebrows. Like and also like the way you can color the eyebrows a little bit, because like some people will have like really like their dark hair in their eyebrow will be like on this section, but then it'll like get lighter and finer, like right here, where it's like they have the hair. It's just that it doesn't look like they do because of it being so dark right here and so light right here. So having that kind of variety in the way eyebrows are would be great. Also, the way like flatter eyebrows, like just again the shape variety. Like I think where eyebrows at are right now with only six types. I think it is. I could be wrong, but it's 6 eyebrows. I'm gonna look, maybe 5. No, it's no wait, it's more than that. I'm gonna look for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's no eyebrows. So it is 6. So it's 6 eyebrows. I think ideally should be at least 2 dozen. Let me put it that way. There should be 2 dozen, maybe 3 dozen. But yeah, that's something that needs to happen, or at least in my opinion, it does. So the next one is facial hair variety. So the example I kind of think of is like, okay, like there's a lot of good variety in the facial hair right now, but a lot of the facial hair in the game, like say you have a beard and a mustache, if you're picking a beard mustache combo in the game, right? The mustaches are always attached to the beards right now. And they're like, as somebody who's made and looked at so many men's faces in this community, so many men, so many. I will say that, yeah, like some of y'all shave, like some of y'all will have like this medium thickness of beard that's in the game, but maybe you shave it really, like you tidy it up a lot, so groom it really well, so it's like you don't have it growing all over your neck, but the only one that looks like yours in the game is the one that's growing all over your neck too. So that kind of thing. I feel like there's a lot of them they could just take what they already have and just like edit them up and like give them different grooming styles and they'd be good. And then of course like adding more like texture types and stuff like that. So more beard variety is, especially for, again, as somebody who's made so many dudes' faces, like I see where they lack, all the time. This one I'm reading verbatim from my list, which is, for the love of God, please let me lock eye color. You can lock skin tone, but you can't lock eye color, and that kind of drives me nuts sometimes because misclicks, things like that. Like I just let me like set the eye color and lock it in. I would love that. The next one is like undertone palette changing. So let's look at the game really fast in this capacity. So if we go through these skin textures, they all have different kinds of undertone. And this is without the skin locked, but now like let's lock this skin color in and go back over some of these and see how like this one comes out very green because that's the way that undertone of that texture is. I would just love to be able to like have like another like palette, like much smaller one than this, where I can just maybe like change that. Now, I don't need that necessarily. I think it would be cool, but the fact that we even have the undertone maps on these skin textures in the first place is highly, highly, highly impressive. So I'm not trying to nitpick and say, oh, I want this like one like thing. I get it. Like if that's how it has to be, that you want every skin texture to have their own unique undertones, I'm not like fine. That's great. Like I will be happy either way. I just think it'd be kind of cool, but I don't necessarily have to have it that way. The next one, can I please have a hair color palette that doesn't insert so much red into the dark colors? So let's go over to color in the hair palette and look at that. So, I mean, we've all been here, like sometimes I kind of, I'm like, oh yeah, I want like this color, but I don't want so much red in it or whatever. Like, I feel like just this whole section right here, it's got so much red in it. And of course over here it has like hardly any at all, which, that's fine. But it's just like really, it can be really irksome sometimes, I guess. And speaking of red, let's move on. Speaking of red and palettes, I would really love for primary red to be in the actual makeup palette. So again, let's hop over to the game. So the makeup palette, we've got like, by the way, this is just an off to the side before we get into all this. This section of the makeup palette, really almost like this, almost out to here to some degree, is neutrals. These are what you would call neutral, like normal, kind of like, neutral, natural colors, right? For skin, for makeup and stuff like that. Over here is where all your fashion color is. This is all the fashion color. And I mean, technically, any of these could be kind of somewhat of a occurring natural color and make in the way people look, but you know, this is all fashion color. Anyway, with that said, there's no true red. See, there's no primary red. It's like you get this kind of like pinky neutral pink, and then over here you've got like, you know, magenta fuchsia explosion, but you don't have a primary red, which I'll just say this. For thousands of years, women and even men have been using cosmetics of some form, whether it's face paint, whether it's a little bit of blush, you know, like geisha. Like there's so many times in history or cultures in history and peoples and instances where people have created and formed some form of cosmetic. And red is probably the most prevalent of cosmetic colors in history. I like, don't quote me there. I mean, I'm sure I'm no makeup historian, no cosmetics historian, but there's a long tradition of red. Va Va Voom, like Ruby Woo by MAC, you know, that kind of stuff. And I don't think red would disappear in the future. It's probably some kind of limitation or choice on their end, but CIG, red is the hill I will die on when it comes to makeup. I've made my case. Please respond. And with love, like, it's not, I'm not like, but like straight up, like, I know some of these things I say are somewhat critical, but it's in the hopes of like making things better and not being an asshole who's going, well, that sucks. Because I don't think it sucks. I just think it could be better. And there could be red in that palette less than the other. So there you go. The next one is, okay, I'll admit this is a nitpick. But I think it's a good nitpick. I think it's a valid one. Okay, so I may have mentioned this in a recent. I think I mentioned this in the last video. Smoothness. Okay, so metallic, like makeup opacity. Oh, what's that mean? Oh, that means like how opaque or non-opaque is my makeup? Like how solid is it? Okay, it's very solid. Metallic finish. Oh yeah, I want it to like kind of be metallic. Cool. Like I know what these things mean. Smoothness. Oh, what's smoothness mean? Well, in the context of this, it means matte versus gloss. Which is what it should say. It should not say smoothness. It should say matte versus gloss. And I'll tell you why. Because in makeup, when you're talking about smoothness, you're talking about texture. Like if I'm saying, oh, I want to really smooth out, like I want to make my makeup more smooth today, that means I'm going to put like something like Photo Finish. I forget the brand, like NYC or whatever. I'm going to put like Photo Finish primer on before I put on foundation, because that primer is basically going to be like silicone based. And it's really going to press up into me and really like hide my pores, right? Or like any little blemishes or imperfections in the texture of my skin. So smoothness to me is about texture. And I know it's a nitpick about words, but it should say matte/gloss. That's it. CIG, I have made my case. Please respond. With love. I'm sorry. Again, that was nitpicky of me, but I don't think I'm wrong. So I'm very right. Okay. The next one is the ability to change the opacity of individual makeup aspects instead of the whole look. So let me once again show you. So this is what I'm talking about. Okay, so I can pick 3 colors, right? Like here's my classic black eyeliner. Here's my green shadow. And let's do a white highlight, but let's change up the style so we can see it a little more obviously. You know, there. So, you know, you can see that little bit of orange in the corner and that capacity. Like but the thing is like most of the time that you're doing makeup or whatever, like you're going to like 9 times out of 10, you're going to have a very solid eyeliner. Like eyeliner is you're going to want that to be pretty solid however you place it, whether it's just on the inside of the eyelids or if it's something like this where you're putting a little bit extra like on the eye, like the upper eyelid and whatnot. But the point is I'm going to have that at a different opacity level than my eyeshadow, because my eyeshadow is going to be something I might blend out more. Like it's going to be like, it's just going to be like, lighter and blended out more. So the point being is like, I would love to be able to have like an opacity scale for each color, especially particularly on eye makeup. I don't think it's necessary for blush. Lip maybe, but I don't think you need it. So it would be cool to be able to like under these advanced setting, like have another like little switcher or toggle here that allows you to adjust the opacity of each element of the makeup. So that's just me, especially the eye makeup, particularly on eye makeup. I think that should be a thing. Okay, and then this is kind of a last, like, I should have had this with the other hair thing because it kind of goes hand in hand, but less forced gray in hair. I feel like there's been some people I've made that it's like they're a young person and like they have like black hair or something, but the game's kind of like automatically inserting like gray into their hair, and I'm like, but they're a baby, like they don't have gray yet. Also in hand with that, I would like to be able to more like to place gray a bit better. Like I know there's the what is it called, in the hair variation, right? The variation of how kind of the highlights and whatnot comes into the hair and things like that. Like you can see as I adjust her, like it's kind of like it does seem to increase the gray and stuff like that. But I would like to be able to like place gray at people's temples or whatever, because like a lot of people, they start graying at the temples or in patches, and specific patches in their head or their in their facial hair or whatever. So I would like to be able to have a bit more freedom with the placement of graying. And then now I'm going to transition into kind of like what I think would be new additions to the character creator that I wanted to talk about that I would love to see. Like, which we're speaking, we were talking about palettes a second ago, the ability to set aside custom, like just like some kind of custom palettes, just some kind of like, ooh, I really like that color green. I'd like to save it to a palette, just like a few slots where I could just have some colors that I like, just saved as part of my user folder or something. It's just part of every time I open the character creator, I have like, a couple sets of palettes or just some colors I just have pre-selected that I like. The next one I would say is some kind of toggle or whatever, or like scale, because I could select different eyewear in the game, but like being able to place eyewear in the character creator. I mean, I know I like I will go into game without like having the glasses. It would be cool if they could let me have glasses from the character creator. That would be nice, but that's besides the point. But having the ability to like turn some glasses on and off on faces so I can see how somebody looks with glasses on, because some people, again, this comes from somebody who's made so many people's faces. Some people will send me pictures of themselves with glasses on, and I've got to work around making their character with glasses, like with pictures of them with glasses on. So I've got to like, okay, I have to like look past the glasses. But like so I have to work with that but it would be nice to be able to like toggle them on and off or something, or toggle a pair on and off, so I can be like, does that look like, yeah, that's like confirming to me that it really looks like them, because now I can see with the glasses on, it looks just like them, but with the glasses off, you know what I mean? So some ability to switch eyewear on and off, just so you can see, especially for those of us who do wear glasses, that want to see, like, does this look like me when I put the glasses on? You know what I mean? So, and then foundation. Again, going back to makeup, I would love to be able to throw foundation on. I love the variety of skin textures in the game. There's 35 on each side of the character creator now. Fantastic. Wonderful. Stupendous. Amazing achievement, CIG. Thank you. But I would really, really love to be able to throw a little foundation on once in a while, because I may find the perfect skin, like on one of those textures. Like I find the perfect skin texture, but it has a few like bespoke blemishes or freckles or spots on it that don't exactly look as like that, kind of take it away from looking the way I want. So it would be nice to be able to throw some foundation on to kind of smooth things out that are bespoke to some of the textures. And because like I mean, people go out in life and they wear foundation, women, men, everybody, like, and it's a cinematic game. I mean, if you're making machinima, I mean, maybe being able to put a little makeup on your character, kind of make it even more Hollywood, if you know what I mean. So that'd be kind of fun, right? Right. Okay. So, and then next I have maybe a few different lighting placements to kind of switch between. So I've had people say this to me, and they said like, wow, like I worked really hard on making my character in the character creator, and I was so proud of it, and I thought it looked just like me or whatever person or thing I was trying to make it look like. And then I go into the game and it looks like crap, or doesn't look as good as I thought it did, because and then they come to real, like they're like, what's wrong? And I'm like, it's the lighting. It has to be, because like you're seeing everything in a different light than you were in the character creator. So the ability to switch between maybe some different temperatures, like color temperatures, like maybe a warm look, a cold look, or even some that reflects some of the locations in game, like ArcCorp or whatever. It doesn't need to be more than like, I don't know, like 6 lighting looks, but just like a few different lighting looks to toggle through to kind of confirm, okay, is this like, if I look at this in like this kind of light, how does it look? Just that would be nice. Again, I mean, it seems kind of, it probably seems like very like, oh, come on, Buster, that's a lot. But again, this is coming from somebody who uses this character creator a lot. So I just think it'd be cool. I think it'd be cool. And I think it would help a lot of people, you know. I think there almost needs to be like an advanced settings of the character creator for somebody like me. That way somebody else can like, that's people can come in and use it as it is, but somebody like me, it's like I'd have all these extra settings and tool sets. Or CIG could just hire me and I just make characters all goddamn day. I mean, that could be a thing. That could be a thing. You hired? Thanks. That would be great. Let's do it. All right. So my last two things kind of play hand in hand together. I think they go together, which is regional. The first one is regional customizations, and the second one is places to go in game to change your appearance in game, like salons, tattoo parlors, tattoo and piercing studios, etc. So the reason they play into each other, because again, regional customization. So what I'm talking about is like, okay, think about clothing in the game. You go to New Babbage, there's like a specific kind of fashion sense in New Babbage, right? Like you got the Apparelli store, and you can go there and you can get yourself like some like these fancy jackets, the fancy suits and all that. But then you go to Orison and it's got a different vibe. Like there's like these like kind of almost like suits with like these cummerbunds and just different like jackets and suit, just different things to wear. And then there's also like more like working type clothes, like over in that one sector of Orison where that plant places. I don't know the words and the things, but you know what I'm saying? Like there's a variety of fashion, and there's also like in a place like Orison, you have like, you have like utility, like working clothes, and then you have like higher fashion clothes. Somewhere like Hurston, you mostly have utility wear, right? Like work wear. So there's different types of fashion in different parts of the universe. I think that could apply to makeup, piercings, tattoos, and hairstyles. Because I mean, you go to like Pyro, and like you join some Pyro gang, and you get your reputation up enough, you get like a specific tattoo from them, or maybe your eyebrow has like some kind of like grooming done to it too, like like a little, or a beard, or like you have a braid on your beard. I don't know. There's a million ways that could go. So but you understand what I'm saying? Like I think fashion, the way they vary fashion from place to place, region to region, can also happen with customization and styling. So I think that would be cool. I don't know if that's something they said they've thought about. I'm sure they already have thought about that. Like I'm sure that's on the ticket. That's why I kind of have it at the end, because I think it's one of those things that I just think it would make I think it would make like to be able to go outside of the character creator and find things that I would like, you know, that would affect like I couldn't change it. Like I could change it outside in the game, but not in the character, or add it in the game and not in the character creator. I think that's cool because it also like makes you feel like you're developing your character a bit, like they're changing. You've made a permanent change to them, like by adding that tattoo. Because you can't take the tattoo out in the character creator or something like that. I don't know how it would work logistically in that regard, character creator versus in game, but you get my point. Like, I just think that would be killer. I think that would be so killer in every way. But that's my list. Let me know what you think, and please tell me below, like what you think. If you have a different opinion, if you disagree with me, if you agree with me, if you have other things to add to like things I'm saying, I would love to hear that because I guarantee you, like I worked really hard on this list, but I watching me stream making faces. There's probably like I'd sit there and I'd come up with like 20 new things to add to this list in a given day. So again, this all comes from somebody who has used this character creator constantly and a lot. So take it kind of with whatever grains of salt you want to take it with. You know what I mean? My opinion by no means is the best or most valid. We all have a great opinion. We all have a bad opinion. We all have a valid opinion. We all have an invalid opinion. You know what I mean? So again, don't take me too seriously. Don't take yourselves too seriously. And don't take Star Citizen too seriously. For the love of freaking God, please don't. Please. I worry about some of y'all's blood pressure sometimes. I mean that. I mean that. When I see the Reddits, I'm like, the Reddit posts sometimes, I'm like, wow. Or Spectrum. Ooh. But enough of that. Well, anyway, y'all have a great day. Thank you for watching. I hope to hear from you about what your thoughts are. And yeah, see you around the character creator.